What's up, my beautiful people? We're about to do a podcast. Stand by.
So how this all occurred into my head like 3 hours ago, right? Like, I'm telling you, I'm, like, in the shower, and it all downloads on me, and it's been, like, on my heart because I keep looking. You scroll through Facebook or Instagram or your TikToks, you doom scroll on those reels, and I cannot, like, post. I keep seeing all this social media content where men are bashing women and women are bashing men, right?
Yes.
And it really breaks my heart because, our goal obviously is mainly to uplift women in their worth. But I think, and I know this is a hot topic, and it's one of the biggest topics that I wanted to get into, and we have been completely pushing away from it, like, and doing these other topics. But man, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Modern day feminism is a toxic thing. It is so
It's
toxic.
very toxic.
And I like we could literally do multiple podcasts about that one topic and what it's doing to society. But just in looking at how social media is and the things that people say, it really breaks my heart because, when you're trying to uplift women and like build up their worth, uh, honestly, building up worth in women does not mean you need to.
Dehumanize men.
Right. And like make them inferior. Men are not inferior to women, just as women are not inferior to men. We need each other.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
And I like in thinking about all of this, call it the Holy Spirit or my own ADHD brain, but I'm in the shower and I'm just like getting downloaded with all of this info. I swear God just does that stuff to me. And like I was thinking about like this post. I mean, so let's just go back to feminism, right? When feminism started, the idea behind feminism was, I don't think one of wasn't one to like shame men, but more so bring more worth to women, right? Like
Yeah,
that was the
equality.
right, that was like the goal. And the problem was it kind of got out of hand.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of women, I mean, I've been there, I've said it, and I have a lot of women in my life that say it like we don't need men and men this, men that, and um again, it goes back to our other podcast where you become bitter and cold,
Yeah.
and we just think we don't need them, and um it's not healthy.
Right. So, okay. So Genesis 2:18 is not good for a man to be alone. That Bible verse it wasn't about like men just being lonely, right? It was meant in that like men are designed and they're shaped and steadied and supported like that by women. Like they need that.
Yes.
It is what the Bible is saying. God was like, "Hey, you're not going to be able to navigate this world by yourself. You need someone here with you." Like, and again, as your connector, we are a help from above, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine being a man in today's society. Their souls, right? Like spiritually, they need women there to uplift them.
Yeah.
And look at the way society is. We are constantly beating men down
Yeah.
in all different like in all different ways. And it's, I mean, even going like into childhood, right? Like it's sad because you beat men down and then men become fathers and then they teach their sons, in not healthy masculinity but toxic masculinity, and then it becomes this generational dark
Cycle.
spirit that goes, gets passed down from father to son, and unfortunately has gotten greater and greater. And it, like I said, it breaks my heart because like, okay, so healthy masculinity, right? Healthy masculinity protects without controlling, leads with humility and responsibility, is emotionally regulated, is teachable and accountable, and provides safety both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I think that's a huge one because I know as a woman, and I'm sure many other women would agree that feeling safe physically, emotionally, and spiritually is something that we all look for in a man.
Yeah.
But modern day feminism says you don't need a man. You can be strong on your own. Forget these guys. They're a bunch of like men are evil. Okay, well, you're taking the job that God gave to men and you're basically telling them to get lost with it. And so men are like, okay,
Oh,
what do I do with that?
right.
Right? So uh in healthy masculinity, you're gonna get equal worth, but like differing roles,
Yeah.
right? Like
Absolutely.
it's how a relationship works, right? Um, but when you in all of this, like the way that society has gone, you've now enriched toxic masculinity because you're saying that the old-fashioned healthy masculinity that God had set for men is not okay. And so you beat men down and then you get this toxic masculinity, which is dominance without responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
aggression without self-control,
Yeah.
entitlement to women's bodies, emotions, or their submission, right?
Yeah.
Emotional suppression, rage or withdraw, fear of vulnerability, reactionary behavior, when their identity feels threatened. Um, and you get this, I mean, it's just sad.
Yeah. It really makes a man reject anything that's feminine.
Right.
And they just kind of detach emotionally from women. Um, and it leads to misogyny. They devalue women. They don't care about women,
Well, right, because women are like, we don't care about you. So I'm like, fine, I don't care about you. But
Yeah.
then
And
it's
it's just this endless cycle where
yes.
if we would both just stop and get back to the basics, I think it could create a much healthier environment. I feel like for so long, I think maybe social media caused the rise. I think 100%.
Well, right, because people all have their own opinions.
And you have different women and different men right at your fingertips. It's like, well, why do I need you when
Right.
I can replace you with
Right.
this smoke show?
Right.
You
Or
know?
it's like we're in the age of instant gratification, right?
Yes.
And it's easy for us to be like, well, if you're not doing it for me, I can get somebody else
Yeah.
pretty
And
easily.
so, I mean, when you're in a relationship, you don't have children or anything like that. Usually there's a lot more going out, doing things, unfaithful, going through partners. And then when you have children, it's like you have to be cautious about who you're around, who you're with. And so when you do get in a relationship and there's children involved, you know what you want.
Mhm.
And it's like, you want the equality in the relationship. You want the man to be that masculine, healthy
Mhm.
figure in the home. And when it's not, you're not going to have the same from the woman. You're going to have a more masculine woman. You're going to have an aggressive woman because she's having to do all these things on her own. So
Mhm.
she can't ever calm down and be in that soft feminine role that she was made to be.
Right. Right, and it's sad because and this is so these cultural messages, right? Um, like, you ever see the the it was like a really popular reel or whatever, would you rather be alone with a bear or a man? Did you ever see that one? And,
Yes.
like, all these girls are like, "Oh, a bear, a bear." Like, you give this ideology that, like, men are all dangerous
Right.
when they were literally created to be protective, but you're bashing, social media and like bashing the heads of men like you're just dangerous.
Mhm.
You're just dangerous. You're just dangerous, right? Masculinity is oppressive. Oh, because you're the leader of the household. That means I'm a second-rate citizen, so therefore, you're oppressing me. Or I have to be a mother. That's oppressive. Which, if you are an actual mom, I mean, that is like the greatest love you'll ever feel for
Mhm.
another human being. It's not oppressive at all. It's beautiful. So then like the ideology that we were talking about, women don't need a man. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe women don't necessarily need a man on any given day because society tells them like you're strong without them. We can be strong without them. But you know what? Men need us.
Yeah.
They literally need us. And when we aren't that strong help for them, they break down. Like we are breaking down healthy masculinity by being this way.
Right. Well, and if you think about all the jobs that men do, I
Ri-
mean, and women do, it's
Yeah.
um all the jobs in the world. My son said it best. He's like, who's going to keep the electricity on if we don't have men? Because a lot of those line workers are men, and they risk their lives as well as women do, but it's, we shouldn't devalue men, and vice versa.
Right. And any for any in any situation where a person feels devalued or is labeled some kind of like monster, right? What do
Mhm.
you think that person's going to do? So like this culture where it's like men are all pigs and like actual chivalry and like healthy masculinity is completely looked down on and beaten on, you're going to get the same reaction that anyone would give, and that's withdraw. They're going to try and overcompensate, or they're going to reject accountability altogether or
Mhm.
seek validation in unhealthy ways, like in aggression or sexual conquest, right? You get guys who are like, fine, you think that I'm nothing? Well, I'm gonna treat you like nothing.
You ever had a man live in your house? You pay his cell phone bill and he sleeps in your bed watching sex videos of his ex? Been there.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
It's harsh.
And I'm just out here, trying to love him and be his partner, and then that's what I get in return.
Yeah.
So,
And that's not
but that's something that could absolutely hinder me away from men and be like,
exactly.
all men are this way.
Right.
No, not every man's that way.
Right.
There are men that are going to respect me. Um, and that's not every situation, but when you do go through so many of those types of relationships, it does start to make you think maybe all men are this way and harden you, and
Right.
um,
Well, and that's yeah. And the sad thing is we all deal with a lot of like with trials in our life, right? Um, and one thing that I have noticed, so This is going to be really hard for me to talk about. I'll see women who will be in a good relationship and have a good man. And that's the type of relationship that they've only ever known.
Mm.
And they'll get bored with it.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll think that they can find better. But they don't realize, I mean, they've never actually dealt with real toxic masculinity. So they have no one to compare to,
Mhm.
right? And so they think the grass is greener on the other side. Well, let me tell you
Greener
something.
where you water it.
Right. Let me tell you something, ladies. If you have a guy who is there for you, who is patient with you, who, you know, loves you, I'm going to tell you, you should hold on to that.
Yeah, that's
And
the ultimate goal.
yeah, I'll give you a real life example of true toxic masculinity. And in the same story, I'm going to talk about healthy masculinity. So the first guy I ever dated, who ever had a real relationship with, he was super violent, very violent. And he would beat me up a lot. My best friend to this day, one of my best friends, I know Matt's going to be mad if I don't throw him in there, but my buddy Jimmy, we went to school. We were friends from like 9th grade to this day. And he didn't see the marks because my ex was really good. The guys that are super toxic, they know where to hit you. They know what to do to like make it so nobody sees stuff. But he knew something was wrong. And he, being the healthy form of masculinity, confronted my ex. He literally got into a fight with him, okay? Because he straight up told him, he was like, I don't have proof, but I know that you're hurting my friend. And he legitimately was like, I'm going to beat the crap out of you if you don't stop doing that to her, because I wouldn't leave him. And that's a whole different episode that we could talk about. But I wouldn't leave him. Well, they did get into a fight. They got into a huge fist fight. And what ended up happening was my ex jumped into my car and locked the doors because he's a coward. Toxic masculinity. Okay. Told me he was going to take my car if I didn't jump in. My friend, being the protective, awesome guy that he is, was like, Aaron, do not get in that car. I already know what he's going to do to you. Please stay. He didn't force me. He let me have my own decision. But I was so afraid that he was going to take my car. And like, in that mindset, you don't think clearly.
Right.
Okay. In a relationship like that, you don't think clearly. So I get in the car with him. And he proceeds to beat the crap out of me while he drives away. And hits me in the back of the head so hard that I don't know how long I blacked out. But when I started to come to, it was winter. We were on a dirt road off the beaten path, like down the road, like way down the road. It was like there were fields next to us or something, but the snow was like 3 foot high. And I just remember him stopping the car, and I was like starting to come back to, and I just remember hearing him say, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you right now. And he starts to open the door to get out of the car. And if you've ever been kind of like knocked out, you're not back up on your feet real fast. So I remember opening the door and trying to get out to run away. And I just fell right into the snow. And I like kept falling into the snow, running out, like trying to run out into this field to get away from him. And I will tell you, this gives me chills to this day, that I was not a Christian at that time, but man, was I praying to God. And I was just like, God, please save me. Please save me right now. And to this day, it gives me chills because it was crazy. We were back on this dirt road. It was snowing, middle of the night, and out of nowhere, red and blue lights.
Mm.
Out of nowhere. And it was a crazy thing. And I won't go any farther in the story, but that's a great example of toxic masculinity and healthy masculinity, right?
Mhm.
Because a good man is going to care
And protect you.
and protect you and show a love that covers you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And a toxic man is going to be controlling and abusive and not accept accountability for their actions. And to this day, I owe my friend a huge, debt of gratitude, because he really showed me, what a real man should be like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to give an example, but that's why this is so important for us, right? Because I see this stuff happening, and now with this modern day feminism, and this it's like when you empower yourself against men, it's like public shaming and viral mockery and generalizing hate, like all men are trash, and refusing to have a healthy dependence.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're not second class citizens, but a man's desire, a healthy man's, like a healthy desire in men, is protective and covering and leading. And when we don't allow them to do that, and we break them down for having those desires for us,
Mm-hmm.
you completely destroy the construct that God had for us in the first place.
Right.
Like, my hope is that we can empower ourselves with men, right? That's the only way we're going to combat this.
You talking about that, you of all people should be one that wouldn't want to be with a man, wouldn't want men around. You should be the one shaming men just from your experiences, but you
Yeah, I've had a
still
few.
choose to be faithful in God and trust that men have a real purpose and women have a real purpose, and you're hopeful that you find your man and have your man. And
I'm speaking life into it.
yeah,
I
and
speak so much life. Like, God, I know
and
you
you
have a guy for me. Just help me be a better woman,
yeah, and that's what it comes down to, is if you want a good man, you have to be a good woman.
Exactly.
And vice versa. You don't just get top tier when you're not
Right.
top
Exactly.
tier.
Exactly. That was like the reel that I said, if you want to entice whatever man you want to entice, like, how you act is what you will entice,
Mhm.
what you will attract.
And if they're healthy.
Well, what I'm saying is, even if they're not healthy. So, like, what I'm saying is, like, if you
Oh.
objectify yourself, like the modern day feminist is this ridiculous ideology that if you objectify yourself, that's empowering. But the only types of men right, the only types of men that are attracted to that kind of objectification of yourself
are the ones that just want to use you for your
right
body.
And they're the very men that feminism, like, initially went against in the first place. So you're literally entertaining the types of men that toxic men. You're literally entertaining toxic men.
You're not going to get a healthy man being toxic.
Right, exactly.
So acting that way and putting yourself out there and your body out there, well, don't look at us, or even
Exactly.
saying, like, women in the gym, well, we don't want to be looked at. Well, put some clothes on, respect yourself. It's
Right.
okay. Like, you're wanting that attention and you're getting that attention.
Right.
And-
Exactly. And it's
then
an
you can-
unhealthy desire. It's an unhealthy attention that you desire.
Yes, and the healthy men aren't going to be the ones giving you
No.
attention. It's going to be the ones that are dogs. It's going to be the ones that are toxic, that
They
you're
have their own demons that they have to they gotta fix
the
their own
guy out in the
demons.
parking lot with his binoculars. That's who's watching you, not the healthy men that want a healthy woman.
Right. Exactly. And I just you're right. I have had like really bad really bad experiences with like some men, and but the thing is that's why I I think that I'm so much more an advocate for healthy masculinity, because I've seen toxic masculinity.
Yes.
I've seen it at its most horrific level, let me tell you. Like,
You've
and it's stuff.
definitely experienced some stuff that I couldn't imagine enduring, and still being so graceful and
You're so sweet to me.
faithful and just believing in men. It's really empowering, because I see women that haven't really gone through that much, or they are the reason that they're going through some of the crappy relationships. And it's like,
Yeah.
if you would just change, and you have to empower the other person.
You have to. It's biblical, so I wanted to read this Bible verse. It's Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers. Right? So like speak loving words
Mhm.
about one another,
Mhm.
you know? And then Ephesians 4:31, let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And in my experience, I have no bitterness towards anyone. I truly desire to like be able to look at another person and see their soul, and like if their actions are negative, if their actions are unholy, I want to see what the hurt is behind that. I don't want to just be like, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, God created us to be there for men, and they need us. And so one of the biggest things that I can say is like what I'm calling for all women to do is, first of all, stop being an advocate in this perpetual cycle of hate to the sexes. Stop posting stuff. Stop making reels that are negative and hateful towards men. That, like I said, perpetuates the cycle.
Why would we expect them to take that stuff and think, oh, you know what, I'm going to do better? All women think we're dogs. I'm going to do better.
Right.
Why would that encourage them to do better?
Exactly.
And then anytime a man posts, all women lose their minds.
Right.
How dare you post like that?
How dare you say something negative about me? All men are dogs.
Yeah. So
Like,
it's just this ugly cycle, and it's like, just stop. Like,
right. And I get it. I get the feeling of bitterness and hatefulness towards somebody who hurt you.
Mhm.
Trust me, okay? I of all people can understand having resentment in your heart and feeling, taken advantage of and hurt by somebody and wanting to just hate them. I
Yeah.
completely understand that feeling, but I'm telling you right now, you will never ever attract what you truly desire if you continue to harbor those feelings in
Yeah.
your heart. You won't.
And you're going to attract someone that's going to um, entertain you for the moment,
Right.
but you're not healthy.
Right.
So that cycle is going to continue.
Yeah.
You're going to be that ugly person again, and they're going to push away from you, and you're going to think they're a piece of crap because they don't want to be around your negativity.
Right. Or in your bitterness and in your resentfulness, you're going to attract someone who isn't actually who is also bitter, resentful, has issues of their own that make it so that you're just not going to have a healthy relationship. And so I can't say enough, like just choose not to be that person, like
Mhm.
especially like on social media. Don't fall into that pit that that demoralizes or downgrades anyone.
Yeah.
You know, not just even the opposite sex. We should be lifting each other up. Like that's not only going to help other people, that's not only going to fill other people with the light of Jesus, it's going to fill you. It's going to
Yeah.
fill you in a positive
There's
way.
just so much negativity, and it doesn't even matter what it is, you know what I mean? It's like, just if you keep the negative going, guess
Right.
what's going to happen?
It's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow.
You have to reap what
Right. Reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or else it's just going to stay the same.
One other thing that I want to add that's probably the most important thing that I could say if we really want to stop this whole cycle of hatred and badgering men. I mean, because man, bring back the chivalrous man. Like bring
Yes.
back true,
Wait,
healthy masculinity.
one man told me I would never have a man that loved me again because I'm a single mom of 2 kids, but chivalry is not dead. So,
That's so cute.
you know, I might be a single mom of 2 kids, but I know my worth and I know who I am. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in order to have that healthy man, I have to be a healthy woman.
Exactly.
So if I just hate on my ex and I did post some things on Facebook, but if I kept that going and I kept being negative, what am I attracting?
You know what? Honestly, it was eating you away,
It was.
Ashlyn. It was eating you away. And that's exactly this. That's what I'm talking about with this perpetual cycle. So the biggest thing, other than just stop being part of the problem, right, is pray.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, like men need us.
Yeah.
We are their strongest ally. Like in the spiritual world, a woman's prayer for a man is huge.
Mhm.
People always downgrade the power of prayer. Prayer is powerful. Could you imagine if women started praying for men, praying for their husbands, their boyfriends, their sons, their dads, praying for their future husbands? Pray for that healthy masculinity to come back into the hearts of men. For their
I pray for the person I'm healing from.
right, pray for the person that's a hard one.
And I pray that he finds his happiness.
Right, finds his own healing.
Yeah.
Finds healthy masculinity.
Absolutely. And I'm going to do the same for myself, you
Right.
know? And I'm going to pray for all the men out there.
Yeah. Pray for all the men out there. You got to.
Yeah. And you men can pray for us women.
Yeah, please. Because we need it too.
Let us be soft and feminine.
That's really hard for me to do, but I'm going to try. All right.
I feel like I'm getting pretty soft.
Yeah.
It's probably my daughter's fault.
Yeah. You are sweet. All right. Well, this one was a little bit of an intense one for me. If this speaks to you, if you know somebody who this can help, please like, share, subscribe.
Come on, subscribe.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get that algorithm going.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. We love you.